Everybody out there knows that one? Kind of obscure, but I saw a request for it on the recommend a lesson list. Don't know if we're going to get to it. Right now this guitar sounds terrible. I got to put new strings on it, but it's about to make a Trans-Pacific flight and fix them when I get there, I guess. Also having nail problems. Spent the weekend working in the garden, and the tone is just killing me right now. Pretty much lost a whole one. I'll tell you more about that maybe another time. Because this, I gotta kind of just get into the short little pieces of news I wanted to get to today. This is update number 5, I believe, for the International Guitar Camp, and it is Wednesday, April 24th? Yes, that's it. And just have a couple of quick things I want to mention. One is, well, I talked last week about some albums. I'll get to those in a second, maybe. But a couple of quick questions that I want to get to. One is about possible other accommodations out there, because we've worked out some other details. And I have not had a chance yet to really go into these places. But I'll tell you that the 2 closest places to where we are going to be staying in Ben Lomond are, there's a Quality Inn and Suites that I don't know too much about, so it's, again, I can't recommend these yet, but it's right in Ben Lomond. And then there is a place called Jay's Timber Lane that looks like it's small cottages, not very expensive, either of these places, because this is kind of remote mountain living. And so both of those could be checked out. A little further away there is a fancy place, there's a Hilton in Scotts Valley. And then a little further away, but that seems pretty nice, is the Pasatiempo Inn. Pasatiempo Inn. P-A-S-A-T-I-E-M-P-O. Recommend there. I do know people who have stayed there and it's been nice. So anyway, if you're looking for another places to stay, there's of course all kinds of places in Santa Cruz too, 10 or 15 minutes away. So that was one thing I wanted to get to. I want to notice, I like the Stewart. Great idea, putting up a group in the community thing, of user, well, not really a user group, but a themed group for this, because I know a lot of people would like to get together, and I really appreciated the offers from some people who will be driving. We've got Jason, I believe, and Jim, who are at least close enough to be bringing a car here, which means they could also maybe help out sometimes with airport trips and things like that, because if somebody's coming in just for the weekend, you don't need to necessarily rent a car and then leave it locked up at the Quaker Center for the 3 days that we'll be there. So we will try to help out with airport transportation, and maybe have a couple of things kind of coming and going. And as Bear, by the way, Bear, great to hear from you, and welcome to the group. Asked, yes, the first meal will be Thursday night and the last one will be Sunday, and we really can't get in there to Thursday till about 4 o'clock, or people can't start arriving just because of the way things work there, and then we'll be done Sunday by noon. And but the 4 places I mentioned are all places that you could stay if you wanted to, be there for a few days longer. And as Bart brought up, making a trip out to Guitar Showcase and visiting Jack, and I thought it was very cool that Brian, coming from overseas, transatlantic flight, said he might get here and buy a guitar, and they would really appreciate that over at Guitar Showcase. But anybody that would like to make a trip to Guitar Showcase, maybe either on Thursday morning or Monday. Anyway, we can sort of work that out too. I will be still talking to Richard Hoover about life and seeing if we can do something at Santa Cruz on one of those days. Although, not sure if I'm going to be able to be there, but at least we'll see if we can arrange a little tour. So that's some of what's going on. Let's see, Chaz had a question about TG Live, and right now we're rolling around the idea on the Thursday night, the welcome night, of just having sort of a more like a town meeting. Matt and I will be there with a few other of our cast and crew, one of whom finally poked his head out of the sand this week, and that was Smokey. Smokey is somebody that's been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work for us, and right now I actually got to send my regards out to him. He's doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work for a kind of little disastrous thing that happened in West Texas last week with explosion, and anyway, it's very close to where Smokey was. But anyway, we've got Smokey on board doing a lot of the stuff that needs to be done at TG, and there's a good chance he'll be there, and we'll see that. But he brought up the idea of putting together a Facebook page and some things like that. But I think the user group just in the TG community is a great solution. So thanks, Stewart, for getting that rolling. Getting back to the TG Live idea, it was really more just going to be kind of an interactive thing with the audience there, and I don't think we're going to have the internet bandwidth that we would need to do a live broadcast, but we will certainly record it, and we may make it available to the as part of the target program or something like that, because it's a little more closely tied to what's happening right there. So anyway, that's right now the plan for Thursday night, and some of this could change depending on other guests that might show up too. So that's why we've got a few kind of flex hours and times in there, and Thursday night is one of them. But it may just be kind of, again, little town meeting with me and Matt and Smokey, and who knows who else might show up. Anyway, let's see, I had one more thing I want to get to. Oh, two more little things. One was, I appreciate the fact that some people, Lynn, went out looking for Al Stewart albums and reminded me of, every time I buy something at a used place, I don't always bother to check it either, but they always do at the counter to make sure that, like, that I haven't stashed, Dave Mason's collectible psychedelic disc into a Carpenters album that I'm buying for $1 or something. I love the Carpenters, by the way. Sorry, didn't mean to go there and didn't mean to diss them, but but I know that's just one of those I would see. Carpenter's album going for $1. Dave Mason over here, 45 bucks. Okay, you know what? I might accidentally put that. No, I would never do that. But I know that the counters at most of the used places around here, they always open up everything to make sure that what you have matches what it says out on the jacket. I'm sure they've been burned before. Anyway, so I think Lynn was expecting to get, of course, You're the Cat, and end up with a Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young album. Well, not a bad trade-off. Well, probably, except you probably already had the other one. So I want to talk a little bit about two other Al's. I guess I'm going to sort of work my way chronologically back. He had, Year the Cat was his 7th album. Now, he made 4 that never even saw the light of day here in the United States. And they were more folky, ooh baby, I can't quite go there. But they were more, he considers them kind of his adolescent years of songwriting. There are some great songs on these. Zero She Flies is a very cool one. There's some really cool instrumentals on some of these. Those albums, one was called Bedsitter Images, then Love Chronicles, and then Zero She Flies, and then Orange. Orange had Rick Wakeman playing on it, by the way, and a few other miscellaneous Straubs and things. But the two that first got released, or that first were easy to find here in the United States, that I missed, because in the mid-70s I had just gotten out of high school and I was not listening to anything. I was like locked up in my own little world of things, and was not paying attention to the radio. Even missed big things like Hotel California when it came out, and almost missed Year of the Cat. But his two albums prior to that were 1974, Past, Present, and Future, where he's got quite a collection of historical tunes. Warren Harding, one called Post-World War II Blues, and then one of his epics, how long is it? Yep, 946. His take on Nostradamus, which is a pretty fascinating little song that he put together. And he continued this trend of long songs with his next album, Modern Times, in 1975, that included some really catchy things. He got a little got wrapped up in a Kurt Vonnegut story, The Sirens of Titan, and then had another like how long is Modern Times? Yep, 8.5 minute epic called Modern Times. Great guitar playing and great stories. So if you get a chance, at least try to track some of these down on YouTube and see if anything from Al's albums there, Past, Present, and Future, or Modern Times are out there, because there are some great and catchy tunes on there. Okay, I think that is it. I am off for the next few days. I will be traveling, as I've probably mentioned, in other places, and hope to get to news on Friday. May not happen, but if it does, that would be good. And actually, it'll be special if it does, because okay, anybody identify that song yet? Let's see if I can. Oh, I don't know. I haven't played this in about 15 years. The next part goes something like this. Key was in. Then it goes back to. Okay, somebody's got to be able to pick that out. that's it for now. I will be back with another camp update next week, and life will go on here at Totally Guitars.